Although the bodywork is aluminium based, you need to check for corrosion wherever the aluminium is in contact with another metal. Check bottom of doors and sides of windows for rust. If the bulkhead is badly rusted, then the body will probably need to be removed to repair/replace it. Expect to find areas of the chassis where rust damage has been repaired or replaced. Check the rear crossmember and outriggers especially. Really rusted through. And this is a structural component. Drive a short distance on soft ground to test the four-wheel drive and to discover if a non-standard differential has been fitted in the rear axle to improve economy. The vehicle will behave wildly in four-wheel drive if the front and rear diffs are not compatible.
Ja, maar zie je. Dan ben je 2 wielen naar huis en 4 wielen naar huis.
Ja. Nou ja, zo kan je ook blijven. During the test drive, check all gears, including the low ratio ones. Listen for unusual sounds as you drive in each gear. Check the selectability of each gear. The Series 3 gearbox is not as strong as the Series 2. First and second gear show wear and are prone to jump out of gear as they get older. Check for broken and or damaged springs. Individual leaves should be a uniform thickness throughout. The vehicle should sit level if all springs are healthy. Check around the spring mountings for cracks or repairs. Any rusting in this area is a road test failure. Before we had these installed, there were leaf springs about this thick on here, completely rusted together. A small amount of steering wheel movement when driving straight on a good road is normal, but if constant correction is needed, then major steering component replacement may be necessary. Check for movement in the prop shaft and, if present, decide if it is a worn universal joint or the differential needs replacement. Maximum turn allowable is 1/4. Landrover Series 3, the Essential Buyer's Guide. €81. Nice. Correct Landrover book delivered on time and undamaged. Superb book, 5-star with service. The book itself needs no commenting. Excellent for anyone thinking of buying a Series 3 Land Rover. This book is sold out in many places, so I was extremely happy to have found it here. That being said, though the seller posted it quite rapidly, the posting option is extremely slow, without tracking, and arrived nearly a month later, admittedly through only a couple of days after the estimated deadline. Recommended. Communication with seller was quite good. Would buy again. 5 stars. Hi all, are there any specific points to check if looking at the Series 3 109? Stick with petrol, diesels are slow. Tapping chassis with the metal object should help determine its condition. Good metal gives a knife metal ring. Thanks for all the advice, guys. The more the better, of course. I read somewhere that to also check the chassis crossbeams and forward bulkhead for rust. Greets, David! David? That's me. For me, it's got to be a diesel every time as I like to off-road a lot, and the torque and control from all 2.2 to 5 is much better than the petrol. I've driven a petrol, and to be honest, apart from being smooth and quiet, it was pretty rubbish. A lot of people are afraid for diesels to work on black magic and voodoo, apparently. The petrol's great if you want to fill it with the points and carb all the time. I'd like to work out how many miles to the gallon you're not getting. I used to tow out Hobby Caravan to Dorset twice a year, and therefore 27.7 to the gallon, 1,000 overdrive, full throttle, almost smashed it away. Blew in slow, so we dropped into first over the Burin Mountains. Red with all diesel carried on plodding. Got the Daihatsu 4-Track 2.8 turbo in my Series 3 now, and it transformed it. Much better than anything Landrover ever made. Only 101 brake horsepower, but so much torque, and it will outpull any 200 or 300 TDI Defender. It even kept up with the brand new LWB 3D5 up to 85 miles an hour. Then the gator on the front prop shaft shredded. Shake. Conversion and precise precision to the kit, and there is no chassis welding. It drops on the old mounting points, but if you want to fit the turbo engine, you will need to cut the passenger footwell to clear it. Yes. Thanks again for all your help. It will mainly be used as my daily driver. Greets David. Greets David. Mike. Greets David. Greets David. Andy. Mark. Greets David. Next page. Greets David. Mike. Greets David. Mike. Andy. Mike. Greets David. Mike. Mark. Thanks, David. Thanks. Greets David.